all of a sudden it just changed, and that I heard there were 20 children killed, and I still can't believe it. It seems like just a horrible nightmare.
Having been through something like this, you were shot where, in the shoulder?
Basically the whole upper torso with the shotgun.
Is it something you ever, not get over is not the right word, but I mean, it changes your life forever, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, the best you can do, I mean, luckily I have the luxury of being able to try and move on. You know, my injuries weren't so severe that my life has been completely altered, but, you know, other people don't have that luxury. And so, I mean, I can't presume to give advice to anyone in this sort of situation, but at least for me it was helpful to just try to get back to normal life, you know, whatever that means after something like this.
What do you want to see happen? What needs to change? I mean, obviously there's discussion about mental health issues, and now we're starting to see, at least it seems like politicians willing to have a discussion about guns in this country. That's something you feel passionately about.
Yeah, I mean, shortly after the shooting, I started working for an organization called Mayors Against Illegal Guns, and I mean, we were calling for this conversation after Aurora, and we're incredibly discouraged when it didn't happen. And I mean, I think this has changed the conversation. You know, the fact that 20 children have been murdered by a gun. You know, and it's a very complex issue. You know, mental health is just as important in this debate. But you know, without the gun, you don't have that level of carnage. You don't have that.
Yeah,
that
I don't
tragedy.
understand. Who needs an assault weapon? Who needs to shoot 100 rounds of ammunition in a minute? I have to say, these video games are, like, where do you get it in your head that this is something that can happen? And I really believe that, you know, considering the mental health issues, when these kids are sitting in their rooms, shooting people on a game and shooting 100 people in a minute, you know, that's where the idea comes in their head.
Do you think there's the political will to, I mean, gun control has not been an issue. You know, continuing the assault weapons ban is not something politicians have been willing to touch.
Right.
We're starting to see maybe a slight change just in the last couple of days. A couple of Democratic politicians who get very favorable NRA ratings have started to say, well, we need to rethink this. Are you hopeful?
Absolutely. I mean, as you said, there are people we haven't heard from on this issue coming out in full force now. And so, I mean, it was clear from the president's remarks on Sunday that he's been very deeply affected by this. And, you know, I think he's looking to change this. And we're hoping he's going to lead on this issue.
This guy survived
I also want to bring
Aurora,
Steve Cardine as a
Colorado,
security expert. What
is
do
from
teachers, I mean, the thing
Newtown,
that struck me about this school is they seem to
Connecticut.
have done pretty much everything right. They had, you know, lockdown procedures in place. They had done drills. Teachers knew what to do in the event of an incident like this. They locked their doors at 9:30. It seems like the gunman, you know, broke through the doors from what little we know at this point. What's your recommendation out there to teachers and school administrators?
Well, first, my condolences out to Newtown, Sandy Hook, the first responders, the survivors, and the victims. I have family that were in the school at the time, and family and friends that live up there. Teachers are trained. They're trained in a good fashion. We need to improve it better. Our educational institutions are soft
like
targets.
our English.
The best